everybody.
Why? You have to look me in the eye and say shit like that.
Welcome to Whiskey at Work. I don't know. I got to catch you off guard with these anymore. I can't do that as much anymore.
God, we were having this moment, and then you eyeballed me. Good Lord. That was the most uncomfortable you've ever made me in here.
Hello, everybody. Oh, do we have a treat for you today on this little podcast? So we came across something interesting a couple of days ago. And again, most of you that follow the whiskey business at all, you probably know this already. But this is basically
we're going to give you a real world testimonial on whether this shit works or not.
Oh, I'm not even talking about that yet.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about the little discovery you made about our good friend Blanton's bourbon, right?
Yeah. So, here I am, not exactly the champion for Blanton's, right? I mean, I like it.
But you do own all the letters.
I have all the letters. I've got a bottle that I found that I really, really liked, and I have a bottle that's still left open, and so I've got like a bottle and a half left before I can do my thing, right?
Right.
But, so I am with you and a friend at Windsor Block last week, and you guys leave for reasons unbeknownst to me.
I do have to go home every once in a while to see my child and everything.
All the good stuff happens after you leave.
God, it certainly does.
So
that's frustrating.
So Justin brings me up into the, I don't know, he's probably got some weird, to his office, but it's like the
mystery office.
It's like a time machine, because you go in and it's dark, and you come out and it may be light or it may be dark.
It's mainly dark.
Well, and there's no clock, and
it's like a casino.
It's
a casino,
and I love it up there because he's really generous. Anyway, he had mentioned that he had this bottle of Century that he knows I'm a big Jack fan, and I wanted to try it. Mm-hmm. And so he has some left, and we go up and we pour a sip of that, and then compare it to Sinatra, and this is a long way of getting there. I guess I might as well tell the whole story. Anyway, the Century was really good. It was a lot easier on the nose, but on the palate, I kind of preferred the Sinatra for, I didn't have a long comparison or a big sample size. The Century was a lot easier to nose, but the Sinatra went down better on the swallow, to use one of our terms.
Yes.
Anyway, so then he pulls out this bottle of Blanton's.
Good branding, Rob.
He pulls out this bottle of Blanton's, and I'm like, well, whatever. He goes, oh, this is the Japanese version. And we get to talking about it, and I'm like, Japanese version? What? I don't know the difference because it's Blanton's, and I never cared, I guess. Anyway, it was really good. It had such an apple on the nose, and you noticed it a little bit in your mouth on the palate too, but the nose on it was just vastly different than
normal
the Blanton's that
here.
You get here.
Right.
And so then we got to talking about it, and he goes, oh yeah, Blanton's is not even owned by Sazerac. And I was like, what? It's one of their things that they're always talking about.
It's a big deal from Sazerac, yes.
And he goes, no, it's owned by some company called AGE International or AGE International, AGE International. And so then we got to talking about it, and it seems he's like, oh, it's even made from a different mash bill than the Blanton's that you get here. So that was just kind of it was just an odd, it was a conversation I wasn't anticipating to have, and it was something that I hadn't learned about it at this point. But,
well, yeah, and I think most people that drink Blanton's think that it's made and it's owned America, right? It's Blanton's.
Well, it's still made in Kentucky by Buffalo Trace, Sazerac.
But here's but
they don't own that brand.
To put context to your story, you're right. Blanton's Bourbon is owned by AGE International, which is a Japanese company. However, the Sazerac company has exclusive distilling rights for Blanton's, so it's produced and marketed by Sazerac. They were founded in this company, AGE International, founded in 1972, and it's a Japanese company that's best known for its sake.
A Japanese company?
A Japanese company, right.
Not Japanese?
Japanese. Jack Daniels, you can have that one. All right? That's a freebie on us. You can call it your next...
I'm sure they'll be using
the Japanese. Of course, Sazerac is a privately held American company headquartered in New Orleans. It's one of the largest spirits companies in the world. It owns everything from Fireball to Southern Comfort to Buffalo Trace. And Blanton's.
And the Pappies and
the big ones.
Wellers. Yeah, ones that people have a tendency to chase and covet, yeah.
Blanton's was first introduced in 1984, one of the first single-barrel bourbons to be commercially available.
But even back then, it was an AGE brand.
Which is...
and they just, I don't know, for lack of a Buffalo Trace, Sazerac just had the rights to distill it and produce it.
And it's all made here still. Yeah. It's still a bourbon because you can't call it a bourbon if it's not made in the United States. And maybe this just isn't a big deal. But to me, it's like when we first started this podcast, we're like, wait a minute, MGP exists at this thing?
Yeah.
That can't be cool, right? And then we come to realize, oh yeah, it actually is pretty cool.
Well, maybe this is common knowledge to all the people that are smarter than me, which is numerous, I'm sure, but I had no idea. I just assumed that it was made and produced and distilled by Sazerac. It was a Sazerac brand.
Yeah.
But it turns out that it's not.
It is not, and I don't think it, like I said, it's been with this AGE International from Japan, which is amazing.
It's birthday boy.
It is birthday boy out there, Mitchell. I just shared with him some of the barrel Dovetail, because it was his birthday, and he just seemed down all day today, like nobody got him any presents or anything.
He got older.
Wait, what does that mean?
He got older, and he's a Vikings fan.
I know.
You expect him to be a little bit
I was giving him so much crap today because it's his birthday, and he comes in wearing his Vikings pullover, right? And I just thought, why you're having a good day. Why would you put on something like that?
I did that
when it's a day to
specifically
celebrate,
so
Mitchell.
You could just say something stupid.
I didn't even realize you were wearing the Vikings hat too. I was so enamored by the pullover.
Well, he's got it covered.
I didn't realize you had the hat too.
Well, I had to go get the hat because I was on my motorcycle and messed up my hair. You know what I mean? So
the other dumb thing he did is he walked into the latest version of whiskey at work and didn't bring a glass.
That was really dumb of you, Mitchell.
I don't know why.
Anytime we're doing a podcast and you can see in the glass that we're doing it and you don't bring a glass in, you just got to sit there like an idiot.
I'll just drink straight from the bottle.
You might be able to pull off of that one.
You might be able to. Don't say the name of that.
Okay.
Please don't say the name of that. Okay.
All right.
That's playing into something we're doing later, and I cannot have the name of that.
Okay, I can see why. All right.
All right. So. Anyway,
so
Mitchell,
after sitting here, did this change?
Go ahead and take a drink. Just take a drink now. We're still going to talk about it later, but I want you to try both of these, okay? There is a brand new dumb thing going around the internet right now that people are doing with their whiskey. And so I, of course, will always jump on the newest, dumbest trend to see if it's legitimate.
It is funny that you said it, and I was about 2 seconds before I was going to
say, is this podcast just about everything that's dumb?
No. Well, we were talking about the Vikings.
This trend.
We'll see.
Yeah, apparently.
Anyway, Mitchell, it was his birthday today, so
thank you for having me.
So I decided to.
Just walked in.
You kind of did.
Yeah.
I decided to give him a pour of Dovetail from Barrel, which is a pretty pricey bourbon that's pretty delicious.
It's really good.
And your face. I don't know if it said it was good or not when you tried it. But
speaking of dumb things.
It did. No, he has a great face. Look at that face over there.
Wow.
You brought it up. I wasn't going there.
So while you're comparing both of those that you're drinking right now, and I'll explain what Rob's doing here in just a minute. We were talking about Blanton's being owned by a Japanese company that's under the Sazerac umbrella, and it was kind of surprising to both of us. But then I got down a list of bourbon whiskey distillers that are not owned by U.S. distilleries. That a lot of these might be kind of common knowledge. Barton 1792, owned by Sazerac, but Sazerac has French ownership, right? So anything that Sazerac owns could kind of fall under that, I suppose, not owned by U.S.
Yeah, but they're not hiding the fact
that
not at Sazerac owns it or that it's French or whatever.
Exactly.
The thing with the Blantons was that it's produced by Sazerac, but isn't a Sazerac.
Right. That's what was kind of surprising.
That was mind-blowing. Now, you're telling me 1792 isn't Sazerac either?
It's owned by Sazerac, based in the U.S., but has French ownership, right? Sazerac is French-owned.
Yes, but 1792 is a Sazerac product.
Yes, it is. Right.
Correct?
Yes. right? It is.
Yes.
God, I hope
it's on
I'm
one of the
yes,
lists. I did
right.
put it on my barrel wish list.
Okay. Beam Suntory, of course, is owned by Suntory Holdings, which is based in Japan. Jim Beam was an American product forever, but then it was bought by a Japanese company.
Yes.
I think that's common knowledge. Four Roses Distillery is owned by Kirin Holdings, which is also a Japanese company, right? So they're Japanese. The Japanese
Wow.
are coming in. Well, God dang it.
You are struggling with that word today.
You remember,
I
I had some Japanese whiskey I brought back from Europe. We tried.
Yeah, and it was good.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
There's not a lot of Japanese whiskey that I don't really like. They're doing it right. You gotta be in the Scotch camp though to drink
Little
Japanese
bit.
whiskey, I think.
I mean, for the most part, I would agree with that.
Wild Turkey Distillery is owned by Campari, which of course is an Italian group, which I didn't know until recently. I would have thought Wild Turkey would have been 100%.
So Woodford, they still owned by some folks here.
That I didn't.
So I
get
don't
into.
feel bad about drinking American whiskey made by Americans for the Americans by the American working. What?
Now here's the one that I thought was most interesting. Heaven Hill Distillery. They are privately owned by the Shapira family. There's Gary, George, David, Ed, Mose. They bought it in 1935, and they've been running Heaven Hill ever since. They're the fifth generation of the family to do so. They're the largest family-owned and operated distillery in the United States.
Wow. I tried some of that last week, too. It was dandy.
Heaven Hill is, of course, home to Evan Williams. So we've preached it a million times. The best bourbon under $20 is Evan Williams Bottled in Bond, in my opinion.
Really?
Yep. So that technically falls under not a U.S. distillery. Because they're family owned.
What are the Shapiri? Oh, because they're American, but they're not.
Yes.
It's family, not
right. It's family
corporate.
owned. Yeah, which I thought was kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
All right. So have you make your pick right now, and then again I'm going to explain, but I just want you to tell me which glass you think.
So I thought this one was the one that you did.
That was aerated?
That you did your little experiment on, but because the nose was so soft.
Okay.
It doesn't have the bite that this one does on the nose.
Are you getting different flavors? Are you getting
This is where I'm torn because this one tastes smoother.
Okay.
Than this one does,
Okay.
and I would think that the smoothness would come from the oxygen being introduced.
Okay. So we're getting closer to revealing what we're doing
except
here.
now
right?
I'm completely
good.
I
That's
got
where
one
I want
in one
you.
hand and one in the other.
That's kind of how you like it, isn't it, Rob? Both hands.
I've witnessed it. I've seen it.
Yep.
They're up. Never mind.
He likes a double fist. It's fine.
Here's of course, I'm a sucker for a gimmick in the whiskey and bourbon world. I love those. I love those beyond anything. You think it's that one?
Yeah.
You're right.
This is the aerated one?
That is the aerated one, okay? And we're gonna
this one has
explain that on the way. It's smoother.
The mouthfeel is so much smoother, and I suppose the nose is coming from it just being aerated.
And the whiskey that you're drinking right now is a brand that's not
high note.
Well, we didn't consider it one of the better whiskeys we have drank. That's why we don't want to say the name of it, really. I don't want to go down that path.
I think the one we had that isn't the reserve was...
It was much better.
It was better.
Yeah, way better.
Well,
That's
I don't
true.
have a problem. I mean, I don't think he's going to come after us. He even told you as much, I think, did he not?
Probably, or maybe I just built it up in my mind so I could say that it wasn't one of my favorites.
Would you like me to coordinate an interview with the said person?
I already have, honestly.
When?
Yeah, when this first came out. I interviewed the distiller.
I think that's what he told you, and we're talking about the Buffalo Chip whiskey. That is.
Oh my God! There you go. Please don't be mad at us, Buffalo Chip people.
It's not bad.
No, it isn't.
I don't think we're here to say anything bad about it.
Right.
I don't think it's bad.
We have this one. We took this one because it was a bottle we haven't had in a while, and this is the Woody's Reserve bourbon, right?
Right.
Yep.
And there's another version that is not the reserve, but that I think you and I both thought
It's a little higher end, and
was a little better than the Woody's reserve, and I
Yes.
think Woody even said that to us on or off the air when we talked to him.
I believe, yeah, he talked up the other one a lot more.
I mean,
And
this
it was.
is,
He was.
you know,
He was not wrong.
It's like, the buffalo chip is world renowned.
Of course.
There's if you are in Sturgis and you're out at the chip, you should probably try some buffalo chip whiskey.
Without question. But what we did was we aerated one, and we didn't the other. And I wanted Rob to see which one was, if he could tell it apart, and he did.
Yeah. So the stupid challenge. I mean, this is like the TikTok bourbon challenge of the week or whatever they call them.
Hang on, I'm gonna do mine.
So what you do is you get a milk frother.
Why? I feel like you're ruining it.
So that's helpful when you're trying to talk.
I wanted people
So
to
you
hear
get this
the
milk
froth of this
frother
one.
thing, and all you do is this milk frother, if you're not familiar, apparently is just like a mini little blender thing. And
Yeah, it's like how you would make the milk for your, like an espresso or a latte.
yeah, okay, whatever. Milk froth latte drinker people.
Yes.
Anyway, so basically you're just blending this thing,
You're aerating it.
and it really changes. I thought bullshit, but
Was it good? Is it good?
it is pretty good. It really changes the nose, and it smooths out on the
And
palate.
you did that specifically on the buffalo chip bourbon?
Yep. These are
we're
these are both pours of the buffalo chip.
I didn't
bourbon.
realize we
Okay.
have a buffalo theme going here, but we are going to try it on the Buffalo Trace as well.
Interesting.
Oh, you didn't put two and two together there?
No, not at all.
That's interesting.
I just grabbed them both.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
What's
was
the
looking.
difference? I want to.
Well-
That's really interesting.
So it's a little bit, I think, like the concept of when you aerate wine. When you take a bottle of red out, you're supposed to put it in a decanter with a bigger surface area, and it will slowly oxygenate and cause the flavor profile to change just a little bit.
Sure.
It's done in wine. I mean, I don't decant my wine. I pour it and drink it.
Right,
Much
right.
like my bourbon, but so my brother-in-law years ago was making an aerator deal that you could stick in the end of a bottle of wine, and it kind of mixed air and the wine as you were pouring it, so you didn't have to decant it. And
Sure.
it opened up the flavor. It added air to it as it was getting poured. So it was noticeable in wine. We tried it in bourbon, but I think this was 15 years ago. We tried it, and I suppose I had Jim Beam or something at the time, and really wasn't a whiskey drinker at the time. But even then, it seemed to change it just a little bit. Now this is doing that on steroids because
Right. Because
you're
it does it so fast.
Yeah, you're slowly mixing it when you're pouring it out of the bottle, but that thing is
There is a noticeable difference.
3,000 RPMs or whatever.
Really?
It is, so.
Can I try it?
Yeah, that's a noticeable. This one is not aerated.
This one's not.
This one is aerated. It's softer.
Yes.
It's I don't want to say lighter. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's a softer, smoother pour, hands down.
Yeah, without a doubt. But are you getting a more prominent nose on it after aerating it? 'Cause
No.
I really did.
To me, it actually got it also got softer.
And it might be the glass or just
Sure.
the fact that I was sniffing it right, because that you got it aerated in the Glencairn versus your Bourbon Trail glasses.
Right.
It got a little
So
bit more
should we go to
open.
Justin at Windsor and be like, you should have an aerator? I mean,
I don't know.
On his bar,
I
or-
want to ask these guys if they've ever done that before, for sure.
where did you find this at? Or this idea?
It was
Well,
on some news
it's been on
story.
social media. It's been all over the place. Guys are trying to do this. I saw it on TikTok, of course.
Of course you did.
on some bourbon guys that I
He
follow.
also wants us to dress up like Megan now from the movie for Halloween. So,
Yeah, that's the one of the
because he
Halloween
saw it on
costume.
TikTok.
Like the Megan movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she's a doll.
The doll?
Yeah.
The
Well, she's a
animatronic?
robot. Yeah.
The robot? Yeah.
That's how he wants.
I want all of us to do that for Halloween. Should we do that? We'll all get we'll get the exact same outfit, the same hair, the whole thing. I'll keep the beard, and then you never have to smile. You never have to act happy or sad when you're out on Halloween.
That's not that much of a stretch for me.
I know, because she has the one facial expression. I think we should do that.
Oh man.
Are you in? We'll get the costumes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right.
Okay, moving on.
Well, now I gotta finish both.
Well,
of
that
these.
was interesting. Thanks for bringing me in on this.
Yeah.
I have to go do another podcast now.
Okay.
For this loser Vikings team that
Yeah.
we have. Vikings water cooler talk, if anybody's interested out there that
Sure.
would like to check it out.
Pretty short chat today.
It is. It's always short now. How'd they do? They lost. Thanks for listening to the Vikings podcast. Vikings water cooler talk.
I mean, there's some
next
things
time
to
you
talk
come in,
about.
bring a glass. You're more than welcome
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I will do that. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
For-
Happy-
you
happy-
guys
well,
only let me come in because it's my birthday.
We
That's the
did.
only reason.
Sort of. We did.
Well,
yes.
you always do seem to manage to walk by while we're in here drinking, so you might as well just
Come in and have a glass. I appreciate it.
Well, Russ does the same thing too, and he doesn't bring a glass, and we're like, "Hey, he's
Come
like,
on in, bud.
Right.
Well, thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate
We've said it time and time again that
Everybody's welcome."
everybody's welcome to come
I
have
just
it.
thought that was really interesting.
even
about
those-
the air rating thing.
Even those of you that are just listening to the podcast, if you want to message
see,
us,
now the other Vikings fan is looking for you. You're probably
yeah,
in
you better
trouble.
get out there. All right, thanks, Stitch. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, before we dive into the Buffalo Trace and try that
this
one,
is interesting.
it is. It changes. It just softens it all up.
All
Is
right,
what it does.
smell the difference in that glass.
Let me see. I don't know if. Okay, it's the glass then. You're drinking out of a Glencairn.
Yeah, that
And,
that Glencairn on the aerated one, that the nose is far more prominent.
It is. You're right.
All right, it's not just me.
No, so these Bourbon Trail glasses obviously have the bigger mouth on them,
Well,
and so it's letting out a little bit more.
why you have them? What?
You know, I've let you talk more in this podcast than I ever have, Rob. All right,
I know,
so you
it's-
just take that into consideration.
It's really
okay?
weird. There's not been more profanity thrown
Yeah,
about.
I'm kind of surprised. You're learning.
I
You're
know,
learning
I'm
how to
like
do this without
trying.
swearing.
I got a couple of bullshits in there, and that was
So
about
guess
it.
what? Big rock band is coming out with their
I am
next whiskey.
so
Rob,
over it.
guess what it is?
Big rock band.
Giant rock band.
Well, Metallica already has theirs.
Yep. Who's number 2? They just recently went out on tour again.
Is it Guns N' Roses?
Oh God! Don't talk to me on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
Guns N'
I
Roses.
forget.
hate Guns N' Roses.
You hate the best rock
Oh,
band.
whatever. The best rock band on the planet
AC/DC.
is one AC/DC.
Yeah,
All right. They have launched a limited edition whiskey with Ballantine Scotch. It's part of their True Music Icons range by the Scottish distillers, who last month launched the collection described as a, quote, tribute to the world's finest music artists, including legendary rock band AC/DC. Of course, AC/DC does have links to Scotland, Angus Young and his late elder brother.
Well, I got a couple of good songs about drinking too.
Yeah, they were born in Glasgow. So
One of them died from it though. That was kind of depressing.
well, yeah.
Seems like an
I mean,
odd
it'll
tribute.
get you, right?
Like, hey, here's Janis Joplin.
Were you ever a fan of the band?
The band called The Band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Were
it was
you?
a little before my time.
Vermont-based distillery Whistle Pig has released a Thanksgiving whiskey created in collaboration with the late. Here's why you'll love this. Okay, you know the lead singers of the band's name?
No.
Robbie Robertson.
Oh,
So Whistle Pig 12 Rye Whiskey, Robbie's Blend, has been designed to celebrate.
I'm curious as how they had it in collaboration with him if he's dead.
if he's dead, well, you know, his estate jumped all over it, I'm sure,
He collaborated through a.
through a medium.
Right.
The bottles have been dipped in wax that include melted vinyl from the album, which I think is kind of cool.
Just the one.
That's got just one album. No,
No,
it's to
That's
celebrate.
like a Kiss Blood, where they have it in the comic book, but
Yeah.
they only put like 2 drops in. Like, okay, well,
It's to celebrate The Last Waltz, a Thanksgiving concert film and album by the band that marks its 45th anniversary this year. Yeah, they were just they were before our time.
yeah.
A scotch.
Well, and they weren't that good.
Honestly, this is going to be sad to admit. What's a song?
I don't know.
Name one song by them that I would know.
I don't know. You're
I know.
You're not the classic rock guy.
I'm
but
not really a classic rock guy, but you would think I would know that.
I would-
just from my age.
Russ probably knows.
Oh, God. No, until John Denver puts a whiskey out, Russ isn't going to care at this point.
No,
okay?
his dad was a big,
Classic rock kind of guy.
I correlate the band with like Kansas.
Oh,
Where,
I see.
they have some songs, but they were just a little old. The band.
Carry
rock
on, my
band.
wayward son. What's wrong with you?
Well, they're just a little, and Jesus, the band is Canadian, for Christ's sake. No wonder they're
What's wrong with that, Rob?
nothing.
Okay.
I'm sure they're nice people. Up on Cripple Creek, there's the one.
Oh, I vaguely
Up
remember
on
that.
Cripple Creek.
All right, I don't need you singing it.
No, nobody wants me singing.
I need to
anyway.
get rid of this. I want to pour this out because I want to try the Buffalo
Well,
Trace.
Jesus, how much did you pour? It's about.
No, this is the Buffalo Trace, and I just poured the two together into this one.
Oh,
So
we should have given that one to Mitchell.
I want to. You know what? Hold on 1 second. And we're back. I had to go clean out a glass because I forgot to bring one back in here. Okay, so now we've
He
had.
is so weird about cleaning these.
I just like my glasses to be clean. That's all. Okay,
It's unnerving.
there is.
And yet I can't get you to change the toilet paper roll in the bathroom.
I don't poop here. Why would I don't?
I don't know.
I have a digestive system that works like clockwork. Okay.
Yeah.
My daily constitutional happens in the morning at home.
I swear to God, I walked in there. This is way off topic. I walked in there today, and there was one full roll on the sitting on the shelf, one partial roll that was open, and then the two dispensers were both empty.
That sounds.
And then I went
right.
back in there later, and
Later, you went again? Jeez.
I sometimes
Do you get some Fiber One in the morning? Because you should.
So
Anyway.
then the partial roll was empty, and the full roll was still wrapped up and sitting on the thing, and I'm like, I am not. I felt like I was at home with my teenage kids.
Why does this only happen to you, though?
I don't.
Why does it only happen
I'm
to
the
you?
only one that changes it. Apparently, I was just. And let's settle it once and for all. The open end goes over.
Right.
I don't want to go searching for it.
All the time. You're right.
It goes over, and you're sitting there doing nothing anyway.
You're on your phone, Rob. You're on
and
your
I
phone.
still managed to change the thing.
Look, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there's been a concerted effort for 6 years to make sure that you're the only one that notices that when you go in. All right. So we've been all.
I get mad and send a picture with an email
Right.
and some nasty words, and then everybody else is just giggling like,
Yep, we're like, we got him again. Okay, so
That doesn't
now
surprise me at all with you assholes.
we have air rated the Buffalo Trace,
This glass is oblong.
Right?
It's weird. Yeah.
and it is. This is just stupid how noticeable the difference is. The regular non-air rated pour, sharper. You're getting a little more of what you want out of the Buffalo Trace, right? But the air rated version, to me, is smoother. Dare I use the word elegant when I'm
No,
sniffing this? I shouldn't use the word elegant?
Well,
okay.
not
Because I just did,
elegant
though.
and sniffing. 'Cause that's weird.
All right, I'm gonna try the aerated version. It makes Buffalo Trace is already kind of a very smooth, sweet bourbon. It takes it up to another level. That aerated part of it. Listen to us swallow, everybody. Enjoy it. It's half erotic.
Stop it. I thought the poop thing might get people to turn away, and you reading mild porn isn't going to help. It really does help.
It's made that Buffalo Trace, and Buffalo Trace is good.
It's
admittedly,
easy.
but-
It's the one that we've all, countless times told people that are starting to get into bourbon what bourbon to
a great place to start.
Go get Buffalo Trace.
But
'cause
now
it's
go
easy.
get a bottle of Buffalo Trace if you're just starting an aerated for 30 seconds with one of these.
It changes
frothers.
it changes it a lot.
Wow. I thought this might have been another bullshit social media thing that people were doing to their bourbon. But there's legitimacy behind this 100%.
You're going to have to go get Scallops, a new frother.
She never uses this one anyway. Bought it for her as like a Christmas present because she said, hey, you know what? I'd really like one of these. And then I'm like, hey, where is that thing? I'm sure you use it a lot. Probably where you have all the things you use a lot. She's like, no, it's still in the box. Over a year.
That's why you don't get your wife appliances for Christmas.
No, even when she asks. So
You just let them go get the appliance. Hey, man, if they want a cleaner floor, they can go buy the vacuum.
wow.
I know, right?
Okay. Did we have any women listening to this? Because
There's
we don't anymore.
There's nobody listening anyway.
All right. I don't think I would take this to your unicorn bourbons or your higher end drinks, but maybe. Why not?
But why not?
Why not see what it could change
I
on an
I
Eagle
wouldn't
Rare?
throw it in the bottle.
No.
But
if
But
you
why not stick it in a little glass and see what happens?
yeah, if you're feeling up to it, 30 seconds is about how long we did the aeration
Imagine
on
what
it.
this does to a Jack 12.
Oh boy,
It might be transcendent.
I wonder what it might do to a rye. If it might smooth
No,
it out
next
even
week's whiskey at work.
more. We're aerating
milk,
ryes.
froth, and rye. There's some rye down there.
Well, let's just bring in your your Jack Daniels.
That one's here, I think,
Heritage Barrel
still.
rye. Why don't we just use some of that? You've got like 17 bottles of it somehow that you managed to
I
score.
have 2 bottles of it, and you were supposed to get me another one, and you dicked around so long that
I
there wasn't any
waited
left.
too long because I kept forgetting. Anyway, that is
Yeah, that's the true friend right there. You ask him to do it for a week, and he's I'm forgetting.
I think
This is really good. Think how just you
I
heard me
know.
ranting and raving about that Heritage Rye. Just
Yeah.
think how good that sumbitch will be.
if you frothed it up a little bit.
Froth it. We might not have any left after the next time we sit down and drink it.
All right, any of you want to try some frothy whiskey with Rob and I? You just get a hold of us.
Go out and buy a $9 frother, or come on up.
Yep. You can find us on, of course, Facebook at Whiskey at Work. Thanks for listening, everybody.
That was a abrupt ending.
Froth away.